Welcome back to the 95 shop. I'm Fletcher. This is Fletcher Wolf Racing. Today we're back in the shop working on the super late model, pulling components off as it is winter time, and we are going through a winter rebuild on the car that we ran last year. Today we're going to talk a little bit about steering components. We're going to take some stuff apart. Thanks for joining us. If your tip is get a hot pressure washer, we know. You may have seen our cool racing stuff videos. Today we're doing a spring test. You may have seen our recent short where we talked about quick release steering wheels and steering shafts and a little bit about the history of the steering wheel. I'm going to expand on that a little bit and talk about my steering wheel. So this is a 17-inch steering wheel and it has a dish. So a dish means that the back of the steering wheel is dished back from the wheel itself. That's kind of a comfort and preference thing. This is a steering wheel that doesn't have nearly as much dish. It has a little bit of dish, but not nearly as much. This is also a smaller wheel. I've used both. I wound up preferring the larger steering wheel in this car to the smaller steering wheel. The Formula cars I ran a much smaller steering wheel than even this one with an open top. So really your hands never moved on the steering wheel like they might on a full circular wheel that we run on the dirt late model. I actually have one of those wheels right here. So this is the open top wheel and you can see that's where I would put my hands kind of spread equally apart on the steering wheel, right? And this is a much, much smaller wheel than the dirt late model wheel. This one's actually fairly close, but compared to the wheel I really run, this is a much smaller wheel. Here's what the steering system looks like in our dirt late model. So we've got tie rods going from the rack to the spindles. This has what they call an Ackerman adjustable spindle on this one right here. Here is the rack itself. So this is a sweet manufacturing rack. You'll notice that stamped on the rack, we have a couple of numbers. 18 1/4, that's the length of the rack. And then there's a 4 right here. And that is the speed of the rack. The speed of the rack is measured in inches of movement per full rotation of the steering wheel. Dirt late models usually run 4 to 4.5, which is at the top of the speed range for these rack and pinion steering systems. This is the servo, which is pretty interesting because the servo's got a torsion bar in it that kind of controls how much effort it takes to turn the steering wheel is based on this torsion bar. This is a 235. You see 220s. There's different strengths of torsion bars, so that's again kind of a driver preference thing. Here is part of the steering shaft to the shaft that goes actually up into the cockpit that our steering wheel connects to. You can see this is splined right there, and then we've got kind of a set screw holding that in place. In the car, here is the steering shaft and the splines where the steering wheel connects. This kind of groove in the splines is where the pin on the quick release hub sets in. There is the pin on the quick release hub. So to release the steering wheel, you pull back on this, the pin retracts, and the wheel is released from the steering shaft. Steering shaft is out of the race car. Let's take it to the bench and get a closer look. Okay, so these are the splines again for the quick release hub. These collars here, I've got one there and one there, are going to lock the steering column in place, and that's kind of a driver preference where the driver wants it. Got like a rubber booty here, and then we've got splines into the steering knuckle. I can actually pull this and it will expand and contract, right? And again, we've got splines here on this piece and then splines in the inside of the steering column that goes into the cockpit, so that again we can set our distance, and then it's a collapsible steering column. Normally you would cover that with the rubber, but my little zip tie came off. We have the next section of the steering column. These U-joints are something that I look after to make sure that they're not binding up or anything like that. I usually check those set screws at the same time. Okay, so I've got the tie rods off. We've got the steering column out. Now we're gonna pull the rack. The first thing I'm gonna do is drain the power steering fluid. Okay, go ahead and see if it'll pull away. All right, here is the rack itself. There's the servo, the power cylinder, the rack itself, and then you'll notice that the eyes are slotted both on this rack for bump steer adjustment, And then again, there's those numbers that we talked about earlier, the 18 1/4 and number 4. It's time to clean all that componentry, get what needs to be serviced, and then it'll be ready to go back on the car. Thanks for watching from the Fletcher Wolf Racing Shop. Make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell if you enjoy our videos. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.